Social entrepreneur Bill Drayton. Bill Drayton was born in 1943 in New York City. He attended high school at Phillips Academy. In 1965, he received his Bachelor of Arts degree from Harvard, where he created the Ashoka Table, bringing in prominent government, union, and church leaders for off-the-record dinners at which students could ask how things really worked. After graduation from Harvard, he received an MA from Balliol College in Oxford University. In 1970, he graduated from Yale Law School. At Yale, Drayton founded Yale Legislative Services, which, at its peak, involved a third of the law school students' body. He worked at McKinsey & Company for 10 years and taught at Stanford Law School and Harvard's Kennedy School of Government. While serving the President Carter administration as assistant administrator at the Environmental Protection Agency, he launched many reforms, including emissions trading, a fundamental change in regulation that is now the basis of much global as well as US regulatory law, including in fields beyond the environment. Drayton is the founder and current chair of Ashoka, Innovators for the Public, an organization that is dedicated to finding and helping social entrepreneurs around the world. Drayton spreads out his social entrepreneurship expertise in other organizations as well, working as a chairman at Community Greens, Youth Venture, and Get America Working. So, who is Bill Drayton? Let's see an interview with him.
How can one be an effective social entrepreneur? The first most critical thing is you have to give yourself permission to be one. That's the biggest barrier. People keep saying, no, you can't do this, this is too hard, not practical. You just got to very politely ignore them. These are by and large people who have made life choices or had made for them where they didn't give themselves permission. And when you do, it makes them uncomfortable because it opens up the possibility that they didn't live their life as fully as they might. That's why you have to be gentle. But do ignore them. Just listen to your own inner self. It is not hard to spot problems in the world. There are plenty of problems. I am sure there's at least one that you really care about. And you stop to think about that problem, and you've given yourself permission really to think about it. We are so far behind in solving social problems that it's not going to be hard for you to see a solution. Just persistence in looking at the problem is the first key step to being a successful entrepreneur. When you look at the great entrepreneurs, there is no rocket science involved. It's very patient, careful problem solving. The really major pattern change entrepreneurs have known intuitively usually that they're in life to change the world in some significant way. And they're looking for the opportunity. And that may take quite a while because you don't know what the next step in a field is just like that. You've got to know the field really, really well. And so you see one idea, you test that out. That's part of the learning process. But the great entrepreneurs keep their eyes open, and it's an iterative building process until they really see the big pattern change idea. Now, how do you know it? There's some tests. First of all, is it going to be really important? Is it going to be historic for this field? And is it going to help the whole society get to an everyone a change-maker world instead of this world of just a few players? Because I think we're all engaged in that struggle. Second, and this is very important, is it a big win for all the key decision makers in the field? To be a good entrepreneur, you must have really deep integrity, ethical fiber. It's essential. And again, that's a matter of giving yourself permission. Believing in yourself, believing in the idea is very liberating. But being aware of this other dimension also helps. So those are the basic things. Give yourself permission to see, to act, to keep problem solving and creating, to have a large vision that will really change the world. To be patient until you have that, and then really go for it. The tests are, is it historic? Is it a big win for all the key people? And what's the force that you will set in motion? And then you've also got to be a really good person, a trustworthy good person.
Drayton's achievements have earned him numerous awards and honors. He was elected one of the early MacArthur's Fellow for his work, including the founding of Ashoka. He has received Yale School of Management's annual award for entrepreneurial excellence. The American Society of Public Administration and the National Academy of Public Administration jointly awarded him their National Public Service Award, and Common Cause awarded him its Public Service Achievement Award. In 2005, he was selected one of America's best leaders by US News and World Report and Harvard Center for Public Leadership. He is the recipient of Yale Law School's highest alumni honor, the Yale Law School Award of Merit, for his substantial contribution to public service. He has also been recognized as one of Harvard University's 100 most influential alumni. Drayton's insight into the power of social entrepreneurs began to take shape as a young student growing up in New York City. As a high school student at Phillips Academy, Drayton created and built the Asia Society, which soon became the school's most popular student organization. While studying at Harvard, he founded Ashoka Table, an interdisciplinary forum in the social sciences. In 1962, prior to graduating Harvard, Drayton traveled to India, where he was able to witness the power of one individual's idea to effect widespread social change. The ability of one leader to turn a powerful idea into reality shaped a model of social change that Drayton would later call social entrepreneurship. As CEO of Ashoka, Drayton continues to provide social entrepreneurs and their new ideas with financial and professional support to help them spread their ideas and solutions, individually and collectively. For Bill Drayton, the life purpose of the true social entrepreneur is to change the world. Drayton and his organization Ashoka have been funding and supporting social entrepreneurs since 1981. He isn't just a great example of a social entrepreneur, he actually helped to define and promote the term itself. Drayton's philosophy of social entrepreneurs are individuals with innovative solutions to society's most pressing social problems. To quote Drayton, social entrepreneurs are not content just to give a fish or teach how to fish. They will not rest until they have revolutionized the fishing industry. Drayton is the founder and current CEO of Ashoka, branded Ashoka Innovators of the Public, an organization dedicated to finding and fostering social entrepreneurs worldwide. And what is Ashoka? In a video.
What is Ashoka? The million-dollar question.
Being associated with Ashoka and this process is the most amazing day-by-day, year-by-year tutorial in how the world works, where the world is going, and also in courage and values.
Ashoka is impact. It's changing the system.
If one were to do the forensics in significant impact in healthcare and impact in education and the environment, you will often find the fingerprints of Ashoka there.
How do we change the world for the good of all? It's always a big pattern change idea, but only if it's in the hands of a really good entrepreneur. It's that combination.
Bill's brilliance was he was one of the earliest to recognize the social innovators who were attacking problems in incredibly new and enlightened and different ways. The oddballs, the misfits, the folks that their families and friends couldn't figure out what it was that they were doing.
When I was 10 years old, I built a solar car. The battery of my car, it wasn't charging well enough. How can I charge my car more efficiently? Why are solar panels so limited?
Over 80% of the Ashoka Fellows have started something by their early teens.
I had a chance to present my project at a science fair. And the girl sitting next to me was telling me you could actually take this technology to Indonesia. And I feel like a light bulb kind of went off in my head at that moment.
No one can ever tell them that they can't change the world after that.
Something that I built in my basement is now being assembled and maintained by people in Mexico that need this technology.
They cannot be a happy person in life until they have changed the pattern of society. And so the entrepreneur is in a lifelong creative process.
I love the fact that people are Ashoka Fellows for life. Once you're in that community, you're always part of it.
The better job that we can do in helping them be architects of their own solution, the more effective that solution is going to end up being.
Being involved with Ashoka set a high bar for the rest of the philanthropy that we get involved with, because I can see these are people who are driving true change. I want to go with the people who are passionate.
People who work for Ashoka all around the world are doing the search for fellows in their countries. They really understand the context of the problems. They understand what a new idea is and what a potentially good one looks like. They were asking questions like, how are things going to be different in rural Kenya in 10 years? Typically, I was used to being asked, what is your budget going to do between now and the next 2 quarters?
The course of human history has been towards a more and more empathy-based society. And this is the critical moment where we shift to everyone being powerful. It's the only way that you can have real equality.
With Playworks, we're going in, right, and we're working on recess, and we're bringing play into the school in this very constructive, positive way. But it isn't about us coming in and doing it for the kids or to the kids, but rather by norming empathy. The kids become the primary actors, and it's the kids who are achieving these really significant changes.
What Ashoka is working on to make sure that everyone has that gift, that we really do become a change-maker world. There's no way that the problems can outrun the solutions.
At the heart of Ashoka is a design principle of how you treat each other. How do you allow someone to be a change maker?
Ashoka is one of the ultimate talent scouts and the ultimate peer network of people who are working individually and now have been collected together to drive all kinds of work forward.
Meeting the people who had struggled for 30 plus years humbled me. Beyond the energy that I could get from a fellow, there were actually insights to solving problems.
Ashoka is really providing us with the platform to leverage the talent so that we can actually solve these issues on a global scale.
The most important about what Ashoka is doing is that they make people believe that change is possible. That belief can go viral.
We're building the financing platform for this new distributed clean energy world.
Our mission is to connect people through lending to alleviate poverty.
Changes the trajectory of life of high school students by engaging them into a path to a professional world.
The idea that one day every kid in America would get to play every day.
Same language subtitling takes children from not being able to read anything to actually being able to read newspapers in about 3 to 5 years.
Working on sharing biomedical research.
Our mission is to improve health in underserved communities using mobile technologies.
And our mission is to increase the number of low-income students who graduate from U.S. colleges and universities.
We're not going to wait for good news. We're going to go out and create it. And we're going to create it with these networks of change makers.
As a student, Drayton founded organizations ranging from Yale Legislative Services to Harvard's Ashoka Table, an interdisciplinary weekly forum in the social sciences. He used the stipend received when elected a MacArthur Fellow in 1984 to devote himself fully to Ashoka. Ashoka is an international organization that promotes social entrepreneurship by affiliating individual social entrepreneurs into the Ashoka organization. Their stated mission is to shape a global entrepreneurial competitive citizen sector, one that allows social entrepreneurs to thrive and enables the world's citizens to think and act as change makers. Ashoka identifies leading social entrepreneurs with solutions to social problems who seek to make large-scale changes to society. Ashoka searches for individuals who have vision, creativity, and determination and are motivated by public gain rather than personal gain. Social entrepreneurs who pass the selection process are called Ashoka Fellows. Each Ashoka Fellow receives a financial stipend that the Fellow can use to pay for their personal expenses, so the Fellow can fully devote his time in pursuit of his innovative social ideas. The size of the stipend is decided on a case-by-case basis according to the cost of living in the entrepreneur's local area. The stipend is available for up to 3 years. The organization is very clear that the stipend is only for living expenses and not for funding the social entrepreneurs initiative or organization. Ashoka Fellows are connected with successful entrepreneurs in order to help the fellows succeed in implementing their social ideas. Ultimately, the Ashoka Fellow is expected to convert an innovative solution into a self-sustaining institution. Bill Drayton has pioneered the field of social entrepreneurship, growing a global association of over 3,900 leading social entrepreneurs in more than 90 countries who work together to create an everyone a changemaker world. Ashoka Fellows bring big systems change to the world's most urgent social challenges. Over half have changed national policy within 5 years of launch. Drayton has impacted issues ranging from human rights abuses to climate change to poverty. Social entrepreneurs are creating innovative solutions, delivering extraordinary results, and improving the lives of millions of people. Ashoka supports building and amplifying global movement in 3 stages. First, identify and support the world's leading social entrepreneurs. They find and cultivate social entrepreneurs in every corner of the world, whose system-changing innovations solve deeply rooted social problems. They invite them into Ashoka Fellowship, providing early-stage financial support and a lifetime membership into an expansive network of peers and partners, enabling them to achieve their vision and have even greater impact. They then help them understand what the future needs and how to create new solutions for building a better world. Second, equip everyone to be a changemaker. They inspire and enable change-making in the public at large and work to give all citizens the confidence and tools to solve problems for the good of all. Specifically, they focus on preparing the next generation to navigate this rapidly changing world by ensuring all young people have the critical skills they need. Third, accelerate the everyone a changemaker world. They mobilize a network of organizations to join them in shifting mindsets and reshaping how they learn, work, and live together to catalyze change-making for the good of society. They partner with schools, universities, corporations, citizen sector organizations, media, and other influencers to co-lead this movement with them. Ashoka's impact is both multifaceted and far-reaching, spanning many levels of change in many nations across the globe. Bill Drayton has steadily built a reputation for advancing citizen-led innovation focused on social change. His success at finding and nurturing leaders in social entrepreneurship has had a profound impact in organizations and communities in Africa, Asia, Latin America, and elsewhere around the world. They define impact as systemic changes affecting large numbers of people that flow from the social entrepreneurs, their ideas, and the networks that Ashoka supports. How do they know if Ashoka Fellows change systems? What systems do they change? These questions are answered in Ashoka's impact studies. Every 2 years, a selection of fellows answer questions to help Ashoka assess the efficacy of the fellowship program and how it could be improved. These studies consistently show that about 80% of Ashoka Fellows have changed a national level system in at least one way within 10 years of their election to the Ashoka Fellowship. In 2013, 87% of Ashoka Fellows surveyed indicated that Ashoka had helped to increase the impact of their work, with 49% saying that Ashoka had made a critical difference in their efforts. Through partnerships with media leaders and journalists, Ashoka has helped define social entrepreneurship and what it means to live in an everyone a changemaker world. Ashoka's Changemaker Schools network is a global community of more than 1,100 leading elementary, middle, and high schools, as well as universities that prioritize empathy, teamwork, leadership, problem-solving, and change-making as students' outcomes. Through Ashoka's Youth Venture program, founded in 1986, nearly 5,000 teams of young people have launched and led their own community-serving ventures. These ventures serve thousands more people. Let's see again the story of Ashoka.